Senator Mike Lee has called for the public execution of Charlie Kirk's assassin. In an ex-post late Monday, Lee wrote, "Execute Tylor Robinson in public."
Lee's remarks came after Kirk's widow, Erica Kirk, filed court documents on Monday calling for a speedy trial. Erica accused the alleged killer's defense team of using delay tactics amid the high-profile court proceedings.
Erica Kirk's attorney, Jeffrey Neiman, formally notified the court that Kirk is invoking her rights as a victim under Utah law, which guarantees a prompt resolution of criminal cases.
It's not the first time Lee has called for Robinson's public execution. In a post on Friday on X, Lee shared a post about Robinson's court hearings and wrote, quote, "Tylor Robinson publicly executed Charlie Kirk. Tylor Robinson should be publicly executed."
The Salt Lake Tribune reports that Robinson's defense team has raised concerns about elected officials offering their opinions about the case. Robinson's defense team also noted that this has amounted to prejudicial pretrial publicity and could affect their ability to find fair jurors for his trial.
Now, according to state code, executions are not public in Utah. It is generally limited to a number of family members for both the victim and the condemned, police and prosecutors. No one under 18 can witness an execution.
Yeah, I'm fine with Tylor Robinson, if found guilty after he is afforded all his rights and the presumption of innocence, although I have no real doubt that he is guilty. I am ambivalent about whether he gets life in prison or the death penalty. Doesn't matter to me either way. I don't like a little bit of the execute in public. That's kind of a bloodthirstiness that I think is not appropriate for a public official or really just a man in general. We should execute people not for vengeance, but to keep the society safe from violent criminals, is what I would argue. It's not about revenge. It's about making us safer. So again, I'm not clutching my pearls. I was opposed to the death penalty because if you wrongfully execute someone, you can't make it up to them. And I was thinking life in prison was better. In a lot of, we have such compelling video footage now of, it's just, the evidence is so overwhelming in these high profile cases of guilt that I am much less troubled by that. So if he's executed, fine, but doesn't need a show. I think Mike Lee's idea is that would deter violence, but I don't know, showy kind of public execution trials, that could have a contagion effect and make people want, these people, some of them, I don't know the Tylor Robinson case, but some of these people want the limelight and the spotlight. It seems like you could have like a mass shooting effect where they're doing copycat. I don't know. Don't call attention to it. Let them die in anonymity behind closed doors is what I would say. So I don't agree with that at all, really.
Well, I would tell Senator Lee this is not medieval times, okay? This is not the mid-1800s. This is not the cccolonial era, right? We're not having people publicly executed in the square, Game of Thrones style, even because he calls for it, right? I think we've passed that specifically because first we need to wait for due process, and he's also saying that right now before we actually have a conviction. Obviously, like you said, there is an overwhelming amount of evidence, but we are trying to bring back civility after the death of Charlie Kirk. The idea was the fact that people should be allowed to share their perspectives and opinions, and they should not die for that, right? We live in a free speech country, so I don't think we should scale back to when we used to publicly execute people more, and also go by the states. We read in the intro what the state would allow, even if he does do the death penalty. Public execution sounded more like a square, like watch them die, as opposed to, I don't know how he meant it, if he just meant like injection and people the regular way, but open for the world to see on television. I don't know who wants to see that.
I'm actually opposed to lethal injection, actually. Lethal injection, we have tried to make clinical and medical the process of killing people. It has a disturbing failure rate. It's not swift. It's not quick. I mean, just shoot someone in the head is a much better, quicker, less painful way to do it.
I don't think anybody wants to see that.
Well, if we don't want to see it, then we shouldn't do it. We were trying to make it seem, well, we got to go.
Senator Bernie Sanders giving his take on why so many Americans don't feel aligned with the Democrat or Republican parties right now. I'll look at that next in my lens.